Welcome back to the channel, guys. My name is Steve.
I'm Lindsay.
Today we're going to be reacting to the top 10 places to visit in the UK. I'm surprised I've never done a video like this before.
I'm surprised too.
Right off the bat, guys, this looks beautiful in front of us. I have no idea where this is at.
It's like you're on another planet.
Yeah, it really does. It looks like just like a green, lush planet. Yeah, you got anything you want to add before we go?
I want to see what's on.
All right, guys, we're going to go and jump in here and check out the top 10 places to visit in the UK.
What's up, guys? My name is Ryan Shirley, and I spent the last few years exploring the United Kingdom.
Are those the fingers or
my favorite places?
That's beautiful.
So here's my UK top 10.
I know those for some reason, and I don't know why.
How could you pick 10?
Like, where is that right there?
Isn't it like the White Cliffs of Dover?
Oh, I bet it is, because it looks kind of familiar, but I've never really, looked into the area. But I might have seen it in passing.
But I've never seen it, so.
Right, I've never looked into a video about it, but I bet you're right. That probably is what that is.
The United Kingdom is made up of the countries of England, Wales, Northern Ireland, and Scotland. If you want to go back in time and feel like you're in a fairy tale or a Harry Potter film, the UK is the place for you. It's easy to see why so many myths and legends were born here. It's one of the world's most enchanting places. Alright, so for our first location, we're going to go visit possibly the most iconic city in the world, London. I've traveled more to London than any other international destination. I have to say it's my favorite city in the world, and I just keep coming back. Everything from the double-decker buses to the energy of Piccadilly Circus.
So I guess this isn't just locations like we thought it would be. It's also going to have cities as well. So, although based off the start here, I'm thinking we're going to see like areas as well,
like scenery.
Yeah.
Makes the city feel so alive. There's just so many places to see. You can check out the iconic Big Ben and walk across the bridge to see the Palace of Westminster. There's the Tower Bridge, which is possibly the most famous bridge in all of London.
Yeah.
You can go see the Stoic Guards at Buckingham Palace or take a ride on the London Eye.
Look at that.
If you haven't already been to London.
That's so pretty.
What bridge is this? I recognize it.
It's clearly a pedestrian bridge.
Right. I recognize it, but I can't think of what it's called. I think that's a very iconic bridge.
I'm sure.
I mean, it's a very iconic, skyline here.
I'd highly recommend visiting when you can. It's hard to beat the London atmosphere. There's no city like it in the world. Alright, so after exploring London, we're going to make the 2-hour drive over to Stonehenge. Located in Wiltshire, England, lies one of the most famous man-made rock structures in the world. There's a lot of mystery surrounding Stonehenge, like what was its purpose and how was it made. Archaeologists believe it was constructed back between 3000 to 2000 BC. Stonehenge consists of a ring of rocks, each being around 13 feet high and weighing nearly 25 tons each. It's unclear what the exact purpose of Stonehenge was. It's believed that it was used as an astronomical observatory or a religious site.
I think it was used for both.
Probably.
I've done a reaction to Stonehenge. You haven't, have you?
No, but I have seen in the comments from other videos we've done, so many people say Stonehenge is overrated.
Yeah,
and there's so many other areas to go to.
Right. Even I've heard from a lot of people in the comments saying, there's like even better stone circles to visit.
Yeah. That aren't as like.
I think the reason Stonehenge gets a bad rap from a lot of people is because it's become so touristy. Like everybody knows of Stonehenge, so everybody goes to Stonehenge when they're in
so it's
England.
Not like the authentic experience anymore,
Right. I bet you some of these like other stone circles that are less known kind of have a better atmosphere about them because less people are there. I think
the one I see most recommended was Skara, I think, in the Orkney Islands.
Yes, that is one we need to check out. But yeah, guys, curious, what other kind of areas like this, sort of stone circles and things like that, should we check out within the UK? I know you guys have quite a few of them, from what I understand. So.
Either way, it sure makes you stop and think how people thousands of years ago were able to construct this. Alright, so after Stonehenge, we're going to head on over to the Jurassic Coast. While you won't find any dinosaurs here, you might find some fossils on the beach.
Yes, we've been sent some.
The Jurassic Coast is in.
Yeah, it's true. Look at that.
That's awesome.
That's beautiful. What is this down here? Is this just kind of...
Looks like algae.
Yeah, it's just kind of algae on like... Is it black sand?
Or rock.
Dude, what is this rock? What is this cliff made of?
I don't know.
That's not limestone, is it?
I That was like my guess, but I
Yeah.
don't think it is.
It kind of looks like a lighter colored limestone than I'm used to. But
Yeah.
let us know in the comments, guys. What is this rock? This stone? It looks kind of like a light colored limestone, but it looks very chalky. Like you couldn't climb it very
Yeah.
easily.
It's like so smooth.
Yeah, this is something I'd like to look into as well. This area.
England's only natural World Heritage Site, and it's become popular with its white cliffs and picturesque beaches that are full of fossils formed over 65 million years ago. One of the most famous spots on the Jurassic coast is Durdledor.
Oh,
It's
that's
this
pretty.
limestone arch that goes straight into the ocean. There's a great beach there, and I just can't think of a better place to spend during the hot English summers. One of my favorite spots on the Jurassic coast
That's
is
beautiful,
Old Harry's
man.
Rocks. Now, special thanks to my friend David Rule for providing this footage. He has an awesome Instagram and YouTube that I'll provide in the description below. I remember the first time I saw his picture of this place, and I was just baffled by the scenery there. The Old Harry Rocks are these sea stacks that are made completely out of chalk that mark the end of the Jurassic coast. In World War II, the stacks were used as target practice for pilots.
Chalk?
It's a type of stone.
Hey, I know, but like all that is chalk? Am I understanding that correctly? Like chalk? Like all that's chalk?
I mean, I guess.
I mean, I don't know. That's just amazing to me for some reason. Like that's just wild. I would have never guessed.
Like chalkboard chalk.
Sure.
Which is probably made from
I'm also
that.
thinking of like chalk people use for climbing and things like that, you know? That's just wild to me. That's just kind of.
I love the shape. Like
I did too. How it's cut.
Yeah.
I did too. That's just, I've seen like images somewhere else of this. I don't know how, but it's kind of got an iconic look to me for some reason. I don't know why.
So different.
Yeah.
So that's kind of crazy. I just love the combination of the green meadows with the white cliffs and the blue ocean. I mean, it's just hard to beat that scenery. All right, so after the Jurassic coast, we're going to head up north to visit the country of Wales. Now, Wales is located in the southwest part of Great Britain. It's famous for its mountainous national parks, picturesque coastline, and distinct Welsh language. One of the most scenic places in Wales is the Snowdonia National Park. It's a region in northwest Wales that is known for its mountains and lakes. The highest peak in Wales, Mount Snowdon, is located in the park with an elevation of 10,085 meters. You can hike on up there, or you can take the Snowdon Mountain Railway to the top.
You can take a railway?
You might be able to see.
That would be epic. That would be epic.
We would have to do that.
Yeah, that would be cool. I've been wanting to check out Snowdonia for a long time.
Isn't that where something about like the dark sky?
Yeah, there's some sort of dark sky zone or something there. I think they have a couple of those in the UK. It just makes sense where there's less light pollution. They have, I forget, what do they call those? The dark sky zones? Is that what they're called? I don't know. Let us know in the comments, guys.
That's something we've been wanting to look into.
Yeah. I love the idea. We don't have, I mean, here, you can go out in the country and you can get dark, but obviously not to the level that you can like in the middle of the desert or, somewhere like probably like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that'd be really cool.
The island across the sea. All right, so after Wales, we're going to head
Isle
to
of
the
Man.
Isle of Man. Now, located in the Irish Sea, right between England and Ireland, lies a rugged island known for its rural landscapes and medieval castles. While it's technically not part of the United Kingdom, it has status of crown dependency.
Right.
And the UK is responsible for its defense
beautiful,
and
man.
external relations. The Isle of Man has had an interesting history. Humans
Clear
have
the
lived
water
on
is.
since 6500 BC, and in the 19th century it was ruled by Norway. But in 1266, the island became part of Scotland, and now it is a self-governing isle. An interesting place on the Isle of Man is Peel Castle. It was constructed by Vikings in the 11th century and just sits right on the ocean. I mean, it's a pretty cool castle if you ask me.
Yeah, that's
so
cool.
After the Isle of Man, we're going to head across the sea to visit
Oh, I
Northern
love
Ireland.
that, dude. Oh man, I love like when you
Tree tunnels.
Yes, tree. That's what I'd call it. Tree tunnel, man. There's something about that just so amazing. I love the forest. I love the woods, and I just love when like country roads are surrounded by trees on both sides and creates this tunnel. That's beautiful. I'd like to see what this looks like when it's like
Full bloom.
yes, bloomed during the spring or summer.
to visit Northern Ireland. Now, Ireland is full of just beautiful scenery, dramatic coastal cliffs, and countless castles. Back in 1921, Ireland was split into Northern and Southern Ireland as a result of the Government of Ireland Act of 1920. While Southern Ireland became a free Irish state, Northern Ireland remained within the United Kingdom. The capital of Northern Ireland is the city of Belfast, which is the birthplace of the Titanic ship. One of the most iconic places in Northern Ireland is the Dark Hedges. It's this road lined with
That's what it's called.
Planted in the 18th
I've
century.
seen that.
It was used as a filming location for the Game of Thrones. On the northern
why.
The
coast,
Dark Hedges.
you can check out the Carrick already road.
Oh,
bridge,
yeah.
see the basalt columns at
Giant's
the Giant's
Causeway.
I mean, there's just so much history and beauty in Ireland, and it just makes me want to go there and explore. All right, so for our next location, we're going to head to Scotland to visit the Isle of Skye.
Oh, we
This
get
is
so many
probably my
requests for
all-time
this.
favorite place
What
in the
What?
UK. You literally feel like you're in a fairy tale when you visit there. I was lucky enough to go to the Isle of Skye last summer, and it's about a 5-hour drive from Edinburgh. One of the most impressive places in the Isle of Skye is the Old Manor Store. It's one of my all-time
Old Man
favorite rock formations.
Store.
I
Yeah.
felt like I was on the set of Game of Thrones when I was there. Now, to get to the Old Manor Store, it's about a 4-kilometer hike. You walk through some conservation gates, and you'll reach the famous rock pinnacles. I went for sunrise and
That is
sunset.
beautiful,
and both
man.
occasions were breathtaking. When I was there was just like crows flying around the rock, and there were some sheep running around.
It looks
I mean, it was
so
just a
empty,
magical
too.
place.
Like, there's
So
not-
the legend of the Old Manor Store is
Yeah.
supposedly a giant lived there a long time ago, and when he was buried, his thumb was left sticking out of the ground. When you go there, it's easy to see why it's one of the world's most iconic rock formations.
Wow.
It's one of my all-time favorite places, and I recommend everyone.
So my question is, where's the thumb? What's the thumb?
think the
Is it
biggest one.
this one right here?
But
What is this?
like, as beautiful and breathtaking as it is to see on video, I can't even imagine
Being
the
there and
feeling
quiet.
of how massive it would feel. Because like on here, you can't get the scale.
Right, looking
So
around
I'm
and
sure it's much bigger than.
feeling the wind, hearing the wind, especially if there was no other people around.
Yeah.
Which I don't know. It doesn't look like it would be the type of place that would get really busy because
Because it's kind of out of the way.
you're going to cut off a lot of people that aren't going to take the 4-kilometer hike.
Mm-hmm.
Because it looks like it might be fairly strenuous.
Yeah.
Through this area. Yeah, so you're going to obviously limit a lot of the people that otherwise would, walk 100 feet from a parking lot or something like
Right.
that. But I appreciate that. I love the beauty and seclusion of places like this. Absolutely.
To see at least once in their life. Just a few minutes away from the Old Manor Store, there is a breathtaking waterfall called Meout
It's
Falls
beautiful.
that cascades down into the ocean.
Yeah, it
There's
is.
a nice viewpoint where you can look at the waterfall. The surrounding sea cliffs in the area are also
It looks like it's
stunning.
going upwards.
One of the
Did you
most
notice
famous
that?
is Kilt Rock, which are right by Meout Falls. I mean, it's just such a cool area. There aren't many waterfalls that fall straight into the ocean. If you're looking to find some ferries, you may want to check out the ferry pools. There are these picturesque
have
blue
a
pools
little
at
bit.
the base of the Black Colons. When I was
Beautiful.
there were so many midges. I didn't dare get close to water, so make sure you
Oh
bring.
my gosh. I would never believe.
Yeah, absolutely. That's something I want to check out soon. Is something they have there called midges, which are some sort of, from what I understand, some sort of a biting insect.
Some bug spray. If you want to do a beautiful hike, I'd also recommend visiting the Korang. It's one of the most
Korang.
beautiful areas in the
Wow,
Isle of
so
Skye. You feel like
green.
you're walking on a giant golf course.
Yeah, I know.
It's
I
crazy
love it.
Vantage point to get a good 360 view of the
Dude,
whole
what a
area.
beautiful place to
after
stand.
the Isle of Skye, we're going to head over to the nearby Eileen Donan Castle. If you're driving to the Isle of Skye, you will drive right by this. It's one of my favorite castles in the UK, situated on a small tiny island
Wow, that's
at the
beautiful.
point where
Okay,
the
that's
three
the
great
castle
sea
I
locks
wanna
meet.
live in.
The
You want to live
castle-
there? Are we moving in there?
Yeah.
How much you think it would cost to buy it?
God.
What? How much land comes with it?
It doesn't look like a lot.
Do you just get the island?
I don't know.
That
I
is
would take
beautiful. That is beautiful. I really like that. It doesn't really look like a large castle. It's just
No.
it's just
I don't need
so
anything
picturesque.
big.
This is like a postcard.
Yeah.
What is this? What's this brown stuff?
It looks like moss that's
It's
dead.
a brown moss. Is it dead moss? Is that what
I
that
don't
is?
know.
Either way, this is beautiful.
It is.
Was built in the 13th century. I'm so mad at myself. I didn't visit the castle when I was there. I wasn't able to check it out. That's one of my biggest regrets of when I visited the UK, so don't make the same mistake I made. All right, so after
Oh,
Castle,
man.
we're going to head over to one of Scotland's most iconic
Dude.
locations, the Glenfinnan Viaduct. It's located at
Was
the
that on a
top
movie?
of Loch Shiel in the
Pretty
West
sure Harry
Highlands of
Potter.
Scotland.
Yeah.
It was completed around 1898. This may look familiar because it was featured in the Harry Potter films. When I
Oh
was
my
there, I
goodness,
wanted
so
to get
beautiful,
close to
man.
the bridge, so I walked underneath it. I was just shook by how big it actually was.
Wow.
After I hiked to the top to get a good vantage point so I could see the famous train go across the viaduct, just really reminds you of those Harry Potter movies. All right, so after Glenfinnan, we're gonna head over to Edinburgh. Now, if you want to go back in time, Edinburgh is a must. It's where J.K. Rowling wrote her Harry Potter novels. When I started traveling, this was one of the first cities I visited. It's a medieval old town with intricate neoclassical buildings, cobblestone streets, and beautiful gardens. The iconic Edinburgh Castle overlooks the city and is home to Scotland's crown jewels. When I was there, I didn't go into the castle because I was being too cheap, but one of my favorite places.
I wonder how much it is to get in there. It looks like a lot of tourists. I know it's a tourist hotspot.
Well, of course.
Like there's some places that you gotta go, like that when you go somewhere in the UK, you've got to go to some of the tourist hotspots just because they're so cool to visit. But I really want to know about some of the really cool places that aren't as
Most
busy.
people don't know about.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the type of stuff.
Off the beaten path.
Yes. Yes. Both beautiful areas and, like also like old buildings and stuff that people may not know about. One of those types of places that you'll probably find less tourists, but I find very beautiful and interesting are some of the old cemeteries. Visiting some of those, seeing, because the cemetery truly is like the tombstones and the mausoleums really are works of art. The design of a cemetery is like very artsy, and so I definitely love. That's one place I would definitely visit is the old cemeteries and a lot of the cities we would visit in the UK.
Was Calton Hill. It offers a beautiful view of the whole entire city. While we're still in Edinburgh, we're going to head over to Arthur's Seat. Now, Arthur's Seat is located in Holyrood Park, and it's a short walk from Edinburgh Centre. Arthur's Seat is an extinct volcano with an elevation of 823 feet. When I was there, I wanted to get as high as I could so I could see all of Edinburgh. I made a hike up, and I reached the top. It was just so windy when I was there. Nearly blew me over.
Oh my gosh.
After I hiked to the top,
could you paraglide off that? I mean, would you be allowed to? It looks like it'd be a good spot to go paragliding from.
Yeah, I guess if you do that.
Yeah.
had a good time just hiking around Holyrood Park and enjoying the views.
I can see why golf was invented in Scotland.
All right, well, that is.
What do you mean?
It's just so, like, it looks like a golf course, like a lot of
I can see kind of,
to me.
Is it, what is it, the healiness and the greenery?
Like it just gives
right.
It from a United Kingdom top 10. The UK is just such a unique region in the world, and I hope all can witness its beauty and history.
All right. Oh,
I feel like it would be
everything.
so hard to narrow it down.
That's the problem. If you're limited on a trip to like a certain,
like a few weeks, or even a month.
Where do you go? Like, because you're like, I don't know where the place I want to choose. I think it just comes down to the fact you just got to make a list and choose the most important.
But the problem is all the places that we want to see are so far apart from one another.
Like, just as I expected, the UK is beautiful. I've seen some of these in passing, right? What do you think? This is one of your first like compilations of seeing the UK.
It's everything I expected and more. Like, it's beautiful. There's no other word.
Yeah. I love the way so much is both a combination of just green and I don't know. I know this was built in the 1800s, but it gives me that old world style, which a lot of the buildings in the UK give me that old world style because so many of them are really old. The castle built in the 1300s or 13th century. I don't remember what you said, but
I thought I said 11th.
Maybe either way, like you don't see that stuff here. We do not see buildings. We don't see castles at all here, but we don't see buildings that old here at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, incredible. Let us know in the comments what would be if you were coming from the US at some point to visit the UK for the first time, no matter where in the UK you were going, what would be, some of the top places you would recommend? And especially if they're not like as well known.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously everybody knows of Buckingham Palace. They know of it. Or the Tower of London, or I'm sure there are plenty of other areas in like, Edinburgh or in Wales and Northern Ireland that people know really well, but what are some of those places that people don't know as well that would be really interesting to visit at some point, or at least check out here on video?
Right.
But
Or
yeah, guys.
totally visit.
Yeah. You got anything you want to add before we go?
Nope.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for stopping by. Please click that like button. Feel free to drop your comments or suggestions about this video or others. And don't forget to subscribe to continue to follow us on our journey to discover anything and everything about the UK and Ireland. Till next time, guys. Peace.
Bye.